Hello everyone, and welcome to West Kentucky Community and Technical College Adult Learning Center ESL Program Review Session for Level 1. I'm so excited to tell you that you're almost done with Level 1. Remember, if you're completing Level 1, that means that you've completed 60 hours. That means that you've been in class for 60 hours and done homework for a part of that time. If you have not completed your 60 hours, please make sure that you talk to your instructor about when you can make up your time. Let's talk a little bit about the test. First of all, I'd like to address why you should take the test. First, it's really exciting to see how much progress you have made. You also cannot move on until the next level if you have not taken your post-test. The test is the same test, just a different form that you took when you first enrolled in the ESL program. It only lasts 1 hour, and after you take it, you can choose to move on to the next level or take Level 1 again. If you have any questions about the test, please feel free to contact your instructor. Now that we've talked about the test, let's begin our review. In order to review most effectively, please take out all of your notes from English as a second language classes, any worksheets that your instructor has given you, as well as anything else that you might have used in class. When you have all of these things in front of you, you are ready to begin reviewing the introductory unit. If you think back to the very beginning of your English class, we began with learning the alphabet and the numbers. Let's first look at the alphabet. Can you say the alphabet? What about spelling words? Can you spell words aloud? For example, if you see teacher in front of you, can you spell T-E-A-C-H-E-R? And for numbers, can you give someone your telephone number? Can you tell someone your age? Let's review these things as we move on. First, alphabet practice. Pause the video to complete the following activity. Spell the words aloud. Remember, aloud means in a voice where you can hear yourself. The words you will review are school, family, restaurant, high school, and x-ray. After you have practiced spelling the words aloud, begin your video again to begin practicing numbers. Great job reviewing your alphabet. Remember, you can always take notes about letters and alphabet parts that you do not understand. Now let's begin practicing numbers. You may pause the video to complete the activity. Practice asking and answering these questions. The questions are, how old are you? What is your telephone number? What is your address? What is your zip code? If you have someone with you, practice the conversation with them. If you are by yourself, practice answering and asking the questions. If you have any questions, make sure you make a note of it, and we will review it before you take your test. Now that we've reviewed the alphabet and numbers, let's review Unit 1. In Unit 1, we learned to talk about ourselves, give basic personal information, ask questions, and we learned many new vocabulary words. Please make sure you have all of your worksheets for Unit 1 in front of you. Do you see your vocabulary for Unit 1? It includes words like last name, middle initial, date of birth. Once you have it, we can move on with the video. Very good. Let's review how to talk about ourselves. Review the following phrases to talk about yourself. I will fill in the blank for myself as an example. My name is Kayla. I am 33 years old. I am from Tennessee. Now I live in Mayfield. My address is 123 Main Street. My telephone number is 123-456-7890. I have 7 people in my family. Practice reading these sentences aloud. Fill in the sentences with your own information. Pause the video if you need to practice reading them aloud. Time to review those vocabulary words that we sometimes see on forms. In front of you, you see the vocabulary words. If you remember, we played a game of matching with these words. Review them, make sure you know what they mean, and if you have any questions, highlight the word. Practice saying the words: last name, middle initial, date of birth, permanent address, full name, first name, gender, zip code, social security number, and marital status. Great job! Most of you know what these words mean, and you can even tell someone your information. But we really need to practice writing. Write a paragraph about yourself. Follow this model. Pause the video. Write your paragraph in the packet provided and read it aloud to make sure it sounds correct to you. Listen to my model, then pause the video. My name is Gabriela. I am 45 years old. I am from Honduras. I lived in Honduras for 20 years. Now I live in the United States. I live in the state of Kentucky in the city of Mayfield. My address is 100 East Main Street. I have 5 people in my family. I have a spouse and 4 children. Now pause the video. It's your turn to practice writing. Great job. I can't wait to read your paragraphs when we bring them to class. Now let's review Unit 2. Remember, in Unit 2 we learned about daily schedules, calendars, telling time, and we reviewed vocabulary. Make sure that you have all of your worksheets from Unit 2 so that we can review most effectively. Make sure you have your packet to review schedules. Answer the following questions about the schedule. The questions are: what time does David go to school? When does David go to the mall? When does David have lunch? When does David go to the gym? Pause the video to answer the questions. When you are done, you may press play again. Now that you've reviewed schedules, let's talk about calendars. Review the months of the year. Very good. You should have said January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Challenge yourself. What are the numbers that represent each month? For example, the number for December is 12. Now it's time to review the days of the week. Say the days of the week aloud. Very good. You should have said Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What is the abbreviation for each day of the week? For example, Monday is MON period. Remember, in English, we write our date first the month, then the day, then the year. Pause the video to write the dates in your packet, as well as review the months and the days of the year. Begin the video again when you're ready to go on to telling time. Good job. It's time to move on to telling time. Take out your telling time worksheet that is in your packet. Practice saying the following times aloud. Repeat after me. 12 p.m. You can also say noon, 1:30 a.m., 7:57 p.m., 6:15 a.m., or 6:15, 9:30 a.m., or 9:30, 10:10 p.m. In your packet, you have a couple telling time worksheets. Make sure that you know how to tell time in English. It's really important so that you can make sure you get places on time and you understand where you need to be and when. Begin the video again after you've completed your telling time worksheets. All right, Unit 3. Let's review clothes, shopping, paying, and giving change. And just like always, we're going to make sure we review our vocabulary. We'll start by identifying clothes. Remember, clothes are what you wear on your body. You can also call these articles of clothing. Please identify the articles of clothing on your worksheet. If there is something that you do not know how to identify, please make a note of it and we will discuss it in class. Time to review shopping. Review your questions and answers. I will ask the question and you respond. Ready? How much is this? How much are these? What size is this? What size are these? Here is $20. How much is my change? Great job answering the questions. Now I want you to pause the video and practice asking the questions and answering the questions. Make sure that you review your notes about the difference between this and these. Okay, it's time to review paying and giving change. Let's review the types of money. $1 bill, $5 bill, $10 bill, $20 bill. We also have 4 different kinds of change: penny, nickel, dime, and quarter. Review the conversation on the right of the screen. Then complete the Making Change portion of your packet. Begin the video again when you're finished. It's time to review Unit 4 now. In Unit 4, we learned about places around town. Do you know the places you go in town? Can you think of any places that you do not know the name of? We also learned about giving directions. Can you offer directions to a friend? The last thing we learned in Unit 4 was question words. Let's begin reviewing these things now. Words around town. Let's review the words around town. I'll say the word and you repeat after me. Make sure that you look at the picture to ensure that you understand what the word means. Auditorium, hall, computer lab, cafeteria, apartment, entrance, office, school, post office, doctor's office. Take a minute to repeat the words. Are there any that you have problems saying? Do you understand what all of them mean? Pause the video if you need to review the words. Now let's review giving directions. Remember, there's 3 basic directions that we reviewed. Left, right, straight ahead. We can also use transition words like first, then, next, and last. For example, first, turn left on Main Street. Then, drive straight ahead. Next, you will see McDonald's on the right. Turn left. Last, drive straight ahead for 1 mile. See how you can use your direction words as well as your transition words to make a smooth and flowing directions. It's your turn to give directions now. Give directions to a friend from your house to your favorite restaurant. Pause the video until you are finished giving the directions. When you are done, you may begin the video again and we will review the question words. Do you remember learning the question words? We learned who, what, when, where, and how. Are there any words that you're not sure what they mean? Review the questions under each word. Who is your mom? What time are you going to work? When is your birthday? Where is your house? How much does this cost? Now we will review Unit 5. Remember, in Unit 5 we learned about family, health, and the body. Make sure that you have all of your vocabulary, your worksheets, and everything else to make sure that you review properly. Here are the words that we had for our family. You should have this worksheet with your new vocabulary. Review the words about your family. Are there words that you do not know? Practice saying the words in the list. Mom, dad, spouse, husband, wife, sister, brother, sibling, grandparent, grandfather, grandmother, cousin, aunt, uncle, mother-in-law, father-in-law. Can you talk about your family? Make sure you know these words well enough so that you can use them in a conversation. Great. Now you know your words about your family, so let's practice talking about them. Write notes about your family. Try to talk for about 2 minutes about your family. Listen as I talk about my family in the picture in front of you. Use my model as an example for how you can talk about your family. This picture is my family. My husband is next to me. His name is John. I met John when we were in school together. We have been married for 15 years. John works at the store next to my office. We have a small family. I have 2 children, 2 little boys. The boys' names are Henry and Bob. Henry is my first son. He is 3 years old. Bob is my next son. Bob is only 12 months old. I love them very much. Then, of course, we have our little dog. Her name is Milo. My husband and I have had Milo since we got married. Milo is 15 years old. My family is small, but I love them very much. Now pause the video to talk about your family. Good job talking about your family. If you remember, we learned about health. We had words such as symptom, which is a sign of sickness or illness, diagnosis, which is identification of illness, and we also talked about aches and pains. Do you understand what a symptom is? Do you understand what a diagnosis is? We will practice more as we go through the video. In front of you are some common symptoms. Repeat after me. Coughing, sneezing, fever, toothache, backache, headache, vomiting, nausea, chills, sore throat. Try one more time pronouncing those words. Do you understand what they mean? If you need to pause the video while you practice the words, pause now. After we talked about common symptoms, we talked about diagnosis and suggestions. For an example, the doctor could give you a diagnosis. They might say, "You have the flu," or "You have strep throat." They could even say, "You have a virus." You can also offer suggestions if someone is sick. For example, "You should rest." "You should take medicine." "He should not go to school." "She should take her temperature." Do you understand what all of these things say? Make sure that you complete the work in your packet about diagnosis and suggestions. As always, if you don't understand something, make sure that you highlight, star, or underline so that we can review it later. Now that we're talking about things with health, symptoms, diagnosis, and suggestions, it is important that you know all of the parts of your body. Look at the man in front of you. Practice saying each part of the body. As you say it, touch that part of your body. For example, if you say elbow, touch your elbow. Are there any words that you do not know? Can you think of any body parts that you need to know? For example, I have a problem with my knee. Do you understand what knee means? You can take a minute to pause the video and label a man just like the one that's in front of you. Press start when you're ready to begin reviewing Unit 6. Great job! I'm assuming that you know all of the parts of your body now. If you need to review one of the parts of the body, or maybe even a couple parts of the body, make sure that you go back and review those at the end of the video. Now let's move on to Unit 6. In Unit 6 we learned about seasons and weather. We learned the names of the seasons and what months are in each season. With the weather, we learned to talk about what the weather is like. And we could answer questions such as, what is the weather like today? Or what is the weather like in the fall? Here are the seasons. Practice saying them. Spring, summer, fall or autumn, and winter. Can you sort the months into each season? Pause the video while you write the months under spring, summer, fall, and winter. Now that you have reviewed your seasons, make sure that you can talk about the weather. Look at your vocabulary worksheet to review the words. The sheet has words such as breezy, windy, tornado. Do you know what all of these words mean? Also, can you answer questions like, what is the weather like today? What is the weather going to be like tomorrow? What is the high? What is the low? Review your words and vocabulary because next we're going to have a conversation. Great job reviewing your questions and vocabulary about weather. Let's talk. Look at the conversation in front of you. I will be person 1 and you can be person 2. Answer my questions. What is the weather like today? What is the high? What is the low? What is the season? What clothes should a person wear in this season? Great job! Now you ask the questions and I will answer. It is sunny and chilly. It is 71 degrees. It is 30 degrees. It is fall. A person should wear warm clothes. You can rewind the video if you want to practice the conversation again, or you can pause the video and practice the conversation with someone in your house. Alright, it's time for our last unit. In Unit 7, we learned about TV shows and listings. We learned to talk about your favorite show and answer the question, what type of shows do you like? We also practiced reading. Are you ready to review TV? If you're not, pause the video. If you are, continue listening. TV. Remember, we learned what a genre is. A genre is a type of show, music, book, or movie. We learned that there are many genres of TV, such as comedy, reality TV, romantic comedy, and sports. What other kinds of genres are there? We also learned about understanding TV channel guides. If you need help reviewing, look at your vocabulary. Look at your worksheets. Does this help? If you still have questions, highlight it and we will discuss it in class. Now we are going to practice reading. Look at the excerpts or the stories in your packet. Pause the video while you read. Start the video when you would like to check your answers. You have two stories, Running a Marathon and Watermelon. They are both in your packet. Pause the video. Good luck reading. I'm sure you did a wonderful job reading. Were there many words that you did not understand? Here are the answers for running a marathon. Number 1, yes. Number 2, yes. Number 3, no. The answers for watermelon are number 1, no. Number 2, yes. Number 3, yes. Number 4, no. Number 5, yes. Number 6, water. Number 7, fruit. Number 8, outside. Number 9, inside. Number 10, grown. Number 11, round. How did you do? If you don't understand an answer, we can review it in class. Congratulations! You finished your review for Level 1. Bring your notes to class about questions that you might have. I know sometimes it's frustrating listening to a teacher and not being able to ask questions. I promise we will review any questions that you may have. Remember your test date and remember why it's so important to take your post-test. If you have any questions, you have my phone number and my email address. I'm always just an email or phone call away. I'll see you soon.